So Laura wants to know, what were some of your biggest challenges in the 2011 harvest? I know you spoke about some of them, but if you could focus on what was the one biggest challenge that you had in this year's harvest? I know there were times when you guys were spending late nights on into the vineyards as to working with them, what to do. What was your biggest challenge this year?
The biggest challenge was the instability of the weather. So we couldn't predict from one day to another if the weather will be nice or not nice. It was impossible. So each time, because when we predict the date of harvest, we see the vineyard, we watch the weather report and forecast, and we plan in advance. It was impossible. So from one vineyard, we say, okay, this vineyard is going to be ready in 10 days, or in a week, or 3 days, and then we had to pick up the next day, because it was just changing the profile, and we were concerned about harming the fruit. So it was a very complex vintage to plan in advance. So it was the vineyard manager needed to be ready anytime. And we were not whimsical, the weather was whimsical. It was that one, the hard one to follow, the weather.
I remember coming in the morning this year, there's like in our iBlock conference room, there's like a war room where all the winemakers and vineyard managers come in very early every morning, and you'll see them huddled around their picking schedules row by row on the computer and just making this decision every day about what was being picked the next day. And I think this year you seem more frenetic than I've ever seen you.
The logistic was changing quite a lot just because of that, and we needed to be really, really on the tippy toes. I must have walked the same vineyard 5 times in 3 days, sometimes 2 times in a day. And I never did that. This is just this vintage, 2011. Pretty unique, but the result is pretty beautiful, so I cannot complain too much.